Hi, I'm Jay Pruitt, and today I'm going to teach you how to make pasta dough. You can use it for all of your pasta dishes. I personally like to use it to make ravioli. No matter how you use it, once you've tried this pasta dough, you're never going to want to go back to the store and buy pasta again. So let's get started. First, we need 3 cups of flour. Just going to raise our mixer here. Make sure that we get it in there without making too big of a mess. Okay, here's our 3rd cup of flour. The next thing we want to do is add our teaspoon of salt. We want to drop our mixer and lock it into place to make sure that it doesn't move as we begin to mix the dough. I'm going to start it up just to mix that salt in. To our mixture, we're going to add 4 eggs. I've already broken the eggs into this little bowl, but they come out very easily one at a time. And that's what we want to do. We just want to put one in at a time. We'll let that mix and make sure that it's incorporated really good before adding our next egg. It looks like that's incorporated nicely. We're going to add another egg. We'll turn the mixer up just a little bit more. I'm going to use a spatula to bring the flour into the mixture so that we get a nice even mix of eggs and flour. We want to add our last egg to the mixture. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to add it 1 tablespoon at a time. We want this to come together nicely, and we don't want to get it too moist. If we get it too moist, our dough won't roll out like we want it to. We certainly need another tablespoon of olive oil, so I'm going to pour the rest of the olive oil in. At this point, I'd like to mention to you that sometimes our mixture, depending on the humidity in the area where you live, will be a little too dry. And in that case, rather than adding any more olive oil or any more eggs, I like to add just a little bit of water, 1 tablespoon at a time, until our mixture is moist enough to come together in a ball. I'm going to add just another tablespoon. It's starting to come together really nice now, starting to form a ball, and that's what we want. We want it to form a ball. You're going to notice that there's a few crumbs at the bottom. It looks a little dry, and that's what we want. We want it to be a little more on the dry side than the wet side, and the reason is because here shortly we're going to be rolling the pasta dough through our pasta roller. And we want to make sure that it doesn't stick when we do. I'm just going to shut the mixer off now. Unlock the mixer. And I'm just testing to see how firm our dough is. Let me pull it out of here and show you something. You'll notice there's crumbs here. It looks a little crummy, but that's fine. That's good because it's pliable. We can work with it. It's moist enough that we can work with it, and it's not too moist or sticky to where it won't roll fine. Our dough has the perfect consistency now. So what we want to do is we want to knead our dough for about 10 minutes. That'll make the dough elastic, and it'll also make the dough easier to roll when we're ready. Okay, now we're ready to knead our dough. I've got a little bit of semolina flour here. Some people like to use semolina flour in their dough, and they may take equal parts of semolina and regular flour for their recipe. I do not. I think it tastes good without it, but semolina definitely does add some texture to your ravioli mix. We're just going to take a little of this semolina flour and we're going to put it on our cutting board. And let me tell you why we're doing semolina flour. Spreading it around here just so we got a nice even distribution of this semolina flour. It really helps us as we knead our dough. It keeps the dough from sticking. It helps us coat this dough so that when we're ready to roll, it makes it a little drier. I just find that it really works well. It works well in the recipe, like I said, as well, but I just prefer to use the semolina flour as I roll the dough. We're going to keep kneading our dough until it's smooth and it's elastic, so that when we press in on it, it bounces back. We're almost ready now. Once we're finished kneading our dough, we're going to let it rest for about 20 to 30 minutes. That'll give the glutens time to rest and make it easy to roll when we're ready. Look how smooth that is. It's turning into a nice, smooth ball of dough. I think we're ready. What I want to do now is put a little bit of olive oil on it. And then I'm going to wrap it in plastic wrap. We're just going to let that rest for about 20 or 30 minutes. No need to refrigerate it. Once it's rested, we're going to start rolling. Okay, our dough has sat for 30 minutes. Just want to roll it on the semolina flour that we had on our cutting board. If you recall, we put about a tablespoon of olive oil on it, and so we want to make sure that we have semolina flour there so it kind of dries that out. We're just going to take a spatula. I like to cut it into 8 separate pieces. Just makes it easier to work with when we begin to roll it out. Okay, we're ready to roll some pasta dough. I use a KitchenAid mixer, and I have this nifty little KitchenAid roller. It's a pasta roller. You can pick them up at your kitchen store. You can get them online. I purchased mine online. We just place it in here like this, and then we take this screw that's on our mixer and make sure that we get it really tight. Now, if you do not have a KitchenAid mixer, or if you do not have a pasta roller, there are other ways that you can roll pasta. You can get a pasta machine. They have little machines that allow you to roll your pasta. You just crank them by hand. You can get those at your local kitchen store. You can also get them online. You can purchase them through Amazon.com. If you go to our website, I'll have a link provided so that you can see what these items look like, and if you decide that you'd like to purchase one, you can just purchase it right from our site. If you don't want to purchase a roller, even a hand-cranked roller, which they're relatively inexpensive, but if you don't want to do that, you can do it by hand, roll it out. You're just going to have to roll it out really thin. Use a rolling pin, make sure you have plenty of semolina flour. As you're rolling your dough, semolina flour is easier to work with. It keeps your dough from sticking a lot better than regular flour does. So I recommend using semolina flour. If you don't have semolina flour there, again, you can use regular flour. It's going to serve the same purpose. I just find semolina a little easier to use. Let's start rolling. I've got my first piece of pasta dough here. I want to make sure my mixer's locked in place. I've got the mixer about on 2 right now. That we can change if we want to, make it a little quicker. We're just going to place the dough in the rollers. I've got the roller setting on one. That's its widest setting. What I like to do is flatten it out and then I fold it over itself and I'll roll it through again. Then I'm just going to roll it through another time to make sure that it has got to the right thickness on the first setting. I'm then going to just take it to setting number 5. That's our final setting for this ravioli dough. There we go. Look at it come through there. Nice and smooth. Easy. Again, I'm going to roll it through one more time just to make sure that we've got it to the right size. There we go. There you have it. We've got all our pasta dough rolled out and it's ready to use any way you want to use it. If you've enjoyed our video today, subscribe to us on YouTube. Visit us at appreciatetaste.com, like us on Facebook, and don't forget, until next time, make it with love.